Welcome students to this video. I would like to explain to you about trigonometric identities. And in trigonometric identities, we use the functions tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. And the formula for tangent is sine x over cosine x. Cotangent x is cosine x over sine x. Secant x, 1 over cosine x. And cosecant x is 1 over sine x. Here you can see if this is S, this is C. This one is C and then S. So they are reciprocal of each other. And then there are trigonometric identities. Sine square x plus cosine square x equal 1. And from this we can derive the value of sine square x. And sine square x equals 1 minus cosine square x. You can find out here cosine square x equals 1 minus sine square x. So there are three formulas from the first identity. Another for secant square x is 1 plus tangent square x. Cosecant square x is 1 plus cotangent square x. They are interrelated, these functions. You will see in the identities, these functions, secant and tangent, cosecant and cotangent, they are interrelated. They come together most of the times. Sine and cosine come together in formulas, in different shapes, different forms. So this relationship will help us to memorize the formulas even. So when secant square x comes, it is 1 plus tangent square x. Cosecant square comes 1 plus cotangent square x. So this formula, and from this we can derive further, if you want to find the value of tangent square x, so tangent square x equals secant square x minus 1, because this one we subtract from both sides. And same is for cotangent square x. Sometimes we use it. Okay, let's apply these rules in simplifying trigonometric expressions. This is an expression because there is no equal sign. How to simplify this one? For simplification, we need these trigonometric rules. And the basic rule for trigonometric I have seen, which is very valid, always write down all the given functions in the form of sine and cosine functions. I mean, this is cosine, so keep it as it is. Tangent, change it in the form of sine and cosine. So we write as sine t over cosine t. We know tangent of t equals sine t over cosine t. So we write this formula there. And then this sign stays as it is. After this, we see there are fractions. Whenever there are fractions, we take LCM. Fractions mean LCM. How to write it? This is cosine t plus sine square t over cosine t. This I multiply, this comes sine square. And remember, write square here. Don't write, this is not equal to sine t square. No, this is wrong. So most of the students make this mistake. They put square here instead of, so question becomes wrong. Now we have to take LCM. For LCM, you can see there is 1 under this one. So you multiply this one, this becomes cosine square t plus sine square t as it is, whole divided by cosine t. Okay. Now look for this formula. Always keep your eyes on this table of formulas. You cannot do anything without looking at them. So keep your eyes on them. If this is cosine square t plus sine square t, and you can see this is equal to 1. Okay, so write down this one over cosine t, and then again look at the formulas. 1 over cosine t, that is 1 over cosine x, which is secant x. So final answer is secant of x. Okay. Any question? So this was simplification of expression, and the method I repeat again, always change tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant in the form of sine and cosine, and then simplify. If there are fractions, take else. Let's prove this identity now. Prove that cosine theta, secant theta minus cosine theta equals sine square theta. Prove that. Prove that means this is an identity, there is an equal sign, and from one side we shall prove it. For this we take left hand side. Okay. Tell me the first step.
Distribute.
Just
Distribute.
I told you one thing. Yes, you are right. We have to prove equals to. Proving, we are simplifying this part. And for simplification, the first rule is always write functions in the form of sine and cosine. Cosine is already there. Cosine is already there, but this is not in terms of sine and cosine. So what should we do? Yes. We change it into cosine theta, and this will be 1 over cosine theta minus cosine theta. So we change secant theta in terms of cosine. Now we distribute. And we see when you multiply, this goes to this one, this becomes cosine theta over cosine theta minus cosine multiply with this one, cosine square theta, and cosine theta over cosine theta is equal to 1. Very good. This is 1 and this is cosine square theta. So we simplify. Now look at the formulas. How can we write it now?
Sine square.
Sine square, yes. Sine square x equal 1 minus cosine square x. So this formula helps us to write down as sine square of t. And you can see left hand side is equal to right hand side. So from the left hand side we prove is equal to right hand side, and at the end we always write hence cosecant theta okay. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. So we at the end we say the given identity is true, as this is your right hand side. Let's try another question. Verify the identity cosine x over 1 minus sine x equals secant x plus tan x. This question has a special technique to solve it. When you find 1 minus sine x in the denominator, 1 plus sine x in the denominator, 1 plus cosine x in the denominator, 1 minus cosine x in the denominator, we always rationalize. So this question can be asked you in 4 or 8 different ways. So in each case, we shall rationalize it, and by rationalization method, we can write on the right hand side. Right here, proof. Left hand side, which is cosine x over 1 minus sine x. So as I explained to you, we have to rationalize it. Rationalization means we shall change the sign, multiply and divide by the same. So this gives us cosine x over 1 minus sine x into 1 plus sine x over 1 plus sine x. Which is cosine x times 1 plus sine x over. We have two factors in the denominators. One is 1 minus sine x and other is 1 plus sine x. See, we have this rule. A plus b times a minus b. This we write as a2 minus b. Difference of squares formula. For fact, if two factors are given, we can combine it as a2 minus b. So this formula we can apply over here. You can see 1 minus sine x, 1 plus sine x. So if we apply, this becomes 1 square minus sine square x. Now, further we simplify, and always look your eyes on the list of formulas I have given you already. You can see over there, because 1 square means 1. So I can just write down it as 1. So this is 1 minus sine square. How to convert this 1 minus sine square? Cosine square x. Very good. So go ahead and simplify. This gives you cosine x times 1 plus sine x over cosine square of x. Square must be on s, not on x. Now we simplify. Can we cancel this cosine x with this square? Because cosine square x means cosine x times cosine x. Okay? Cosine square x means cosine x times cosine x. So 1 cosine x we can cancel with 1. So only 1 cosine x is left there. So we are with 1 plus sine x over cosine x. Now you can see this is not our desired form yet. We are looking for secant x plus tangent x. How can we make it? What about if I write 1 over cosine x plus sine x over cosine x? You know, we have a rule, a plus b over c. How to write this one? A over c plus b over c. A over c plus b over c. So apply the same rule over here. Divide each term by the denominator, 1 over cosine x, sine x over cosine x. So this gives us 1 over cosine x, you can check from the list of formulas, is equal to secant x. Sure. And sine x over cosine x, tangent x. Yes. So this is tangent x. Now see, if we compare with the given question, we can see this is the right hand side. Okay? So it means left hand side is equal to right hand side. And at the end you can say, hence, cosine x over 1 minus sine x is equal to secant x plus tan x. Okay, this is the final answer. Let's try another question. 1 plus cosine x, cosine theta over cosine theta equals tan square theta over secant theta minus 1. How can we do this one? You can take left hand side or right hand side. From either side we can prove it.
Right.
Right hand side? Okay. There are two methods in this one. I mean, more than one method you can use. Right hand side, if you see, there is a tan square tan theta involved. The method I gave you, some changing to sine and cosine, you can apply, but the method gives you different steps. For tangent, we have a formula over there in the list. What formula is there?
Secant to x.
You know, yeah. Secant square theta equals 1 plus tangent square theta. This formula is in the list. And we should use this formula directly because question becomes easier. So this formula will be tangent square theta will be from here, secant square theta minus 1, if I separate tangent square. So here we have a tangent square and secant we have in the denominator. So hopefully this method works better. Okay? Now, take right hand side. Right hand side is tangent square theta over secant theta minus 1. Okay, try it yourself, please. So we use formula here, secant square theta minus 1 over secant theta minus 1. We have to simplify. This is difference of squares. And we have a formula for difference of squares with us. A2 minus B2 equals A plus B, A minus B. Can we apply here in the numerator? Because when we apply, we can cancel this factor. So this gives you can write 1 as a 1 square. So in numerator we have secant theta minus 1 times secant theta plus 1 over secant theta minus 1. We can cancel and we are left with secant theta plus 1. So it means we have secant theta plus 1. Okay. If this is secant theta plus 1, but this is not a left hand side. How to change into cosine form? We look at the list of the formulas and you can find there secant is 1 over cosine theta. So this is 1 over cosine theta plus 1. This is a fraction. In these questions, when you find fractions, take LCM. So the LCM is 1 plus cosine theta over cosine theta. Oh yes, this is what we are looking for. Left hand side is 1 plus cosine theta over cosine theta. Is this the right hand side? left hand side. Okay, hence always be happy at the end when you find your results. So this is 1 plus cosine theta over cosine theta equals tangent square theta over secant theta minus 1. Any question?